sure you guys can tell by today's title and thumbnail that we are doing 3 looks, 3 palettes, y'all. I absolutely love doing this series because it allows me to keep playing with every single palette that I bought or that I got sent and to create really fun makeup looks. So you guys want to see what type of looks I created, what my thoughts are on all these palettes, well then definitely keep on watching. Okay guys, so for our first palette, I'm so excited to dive into the brand new Odin's Eye collaboration with Heather Austin. This says, Heather and our team have been busy social distancing with our lab to bring you 15 brand new unique shades. Each one is inspired by the vibrant colors of spring and Heather's creative vision. And here's the best part, we've given our formula a major glow up. Whether it's a buttery matte or blinding shimmer, these shadows are more pigmented and longer lasting than ever. Okay, so first off, I will say the outside packaging of this is absolutely stunning. Like, look at how beautiful my friend is. She is so beautiful. So you guys can actually buy the entire bundle for $92.22. I think that's including all 15 shadows and the palette. It doesn't really say, but I'm assuming that's what it is. Or if you guys want to, you guys can just buy the shadows individually. The shimmers are going to retail for $5.90. The mattes are going to retail for $3.90, and the multi-chrome is going to retail for $10.90. Now I will say this is pretty expensive for what it is because it is 15 pans for $92, but at the end of the day you are paying for the quality of the palette. You're paying for a fully magnetic palette, you're paying for singles, you're paying for all that. So it's completely up to you whether or not you guys think the price point is justified, but I will say it's a really beautiful palette. Like, I did lay it out exactly how it's laid out in this photo, so hopefully I'm doing it justice. I do think it's really beautiful and I'm excited to dive into this, and plus I'm really proud of my friend. Like, she got to do another collaboration. I think it's like her 3rd one, and she has her face on it. Like, what? That is so freaking cool. So this is going to be launching on Sunday, March 1st at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't think affiliate codes work on this one, and if they do, I think only Heather's work. I don't think anyone else works, but you guys can use my code Allie D to save you guys 10% off on anything else Odin's Eye. I just don't think it applies to collaborations because it never has in the past, so I would assume that's the same situation here. I don't know. I'm actually really heavily pre-filming this, so let's go ahead and dive right on in. If you guys happen to hear like any loud banging or noises, it is my upstairs neighbors. I'm assuming they're packing because they are leaving at the end of next month. Yeah, the end of the next month. So I'm assuming that they are just packing and getting rid of stuff because that's exactly what me and Corey will be doing. Like, we've low-key have already been starting to go through our stuff and starting to get rid of things because we're pretty positive we're not going to renew here, especially because I've seen the price point for what their renewal is, and I'm just like, oh my god, I could just go rent a house at that point. It's insane. So I don't necessarily see us staying here. So we've also been slowly kind of like packing things up and like buying some moving boxes because I think we're fully prepared to go. I'm going to do just a really pretty spring look. At least I'm going to hope to. So I'm going to go into this shade right here, and I'm just going to lightly put this in my outer V. We're going to do like a halo eye. I haven't done a halo eye in like a week or so. I'm not really sure, but anyway, I'm excited for my friend Heather. I think this is really awesome that she gets to have a collaboration with Odin's Eye. I love whenever Odin's Eye does do a collaboration with content creators and they put their faces on it. Like, I think that's so cool. I could not imagine what it'd be like to see my face on a palette. Like, I could never imagine seeing what my face looked on a palette. And I know you guys are gonna be like, oh, you should have a collab with Odin's Eye. I don't think that's ever gonna happen. I think they only collaborate with people that bring them, I would assume, a lot of money. I don't think I really do. I mean, that's just I'm just assuming here. And I know they say, assumptions can make if you assume, you can make an ass out of me and you. And I totally respect that, but I don't think I make them a lot of business, so I just can't foresee them ever collaborating with me. But I do think it's incredible whenever they do collaborate with content creators. I absolutely love seeing it. Like, just seeing all my friends' face on a palette, like, it's so cool. It's so cool, so freaking cool. All right, so I'm just gonna lay this shadow down right here. That matte is blending out like a dream. It's blending out so good. I'm gonna go into this matte right here. I don't know the shade names. They did come with shade names, but I did not save the packaging at all. I did immediately unbox this and put my palette together because I was so excited to dig into this, so I did not save anything, so I have no idea what the shade names are. I'm so sorry, but I'm sure Heather has her reveal video where she shows all the shades and the shade names and all that type of stuff. I just wanted to dig in because I was so excited. Look at how easy that is blending. That is blending like a dream. I love how they updated their formula. That is so freaking exciting. And you know what? I do think it's kind of cool that Odin's Eye is starting to do single collections. Like, you guys know, I'm not a big fan of single eyeshadow palette. Like, you guys know I'm not a big fan of single eyeshadows. I've been very vocal about that. But I do like when they are allowing, when they're creating collections, that you could do a whole eyeshadow palette with singles, but they allow you to kind of custom make it yourself. Like, I know they recently just decided to bring back their Merry Christmas palette and their Christmas Eve palette, but with all single eyeshadows, so that if you wanted to mix and match them, you absolutely could. You can kind of custom make your own Christmas palette. I love when brands do that. It's so fun. It's very different. You can really have something custom just for yourself. And so I think it's cool that they're doing the same thing with Heather's palette. I think it's actually really cool that they're doing that. You know what I mean? So that, I know $92 is a really steep price point for 15 shades, but at the end of the day, you don't have to buy all 15 shades. You can just kind of buy 4 shades. You can buy you can make your own little quads or little duos, however you guys want to do so. You don't have to buy all the shades. So I think it's actually kind of cool they did that. Okay, I'm going to go into this really beautiful purple shade right here. We're going to put this into the inner corner. I do wish there was a lighter matte purple shade to blend this out, but I'm going to do the best that I can. So right next to that purple, we're going to go into this beautiful purple shade right here. And I'm going to lay that down. I will say the shimmers are actually really pretty. They're really soft too and buttery. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to lay this right here. Then I'm going to go into this beautiful green shade right here. And, well, I hope it's going to work out the way I'm envisioning. Maybe I should do a little bit of the darker green first. This one right here. This one right here. We'll go into this one first. So this one, I'm not trying to flick you off. I'm so sorry. I would kind of tap that right here. And then I'll take the first shade that I swatched and I'll put that right next to that. That's kind of more of like a topper shade anyway. And then right in the middle, we're going to go into this beautiful shift right here. This is like a beautiful multi-chrome. It's like white, yellow, blue. It's so pretty. We're going to kind of bring that all together. Like right here to bring it all together. Okay, look at how pretty that is. That is so pretty. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this beautiful brown shade right here. And we're going to use this to line my upper waterline. I will say the mattes are absolutely gorgeous. Like, they're laying down so beautifully. There's a little bit of kick up in the pan, but there really isn't any fallout in the face, and I really love that. And then these shimmers are just absolutely gorgeous, and they're blending so easy and effortlessly into each other. I do think that Heather created a really pretty, like, spring vibe palette. I could absolutely see that. But I'm not shocked because she is one of the queens of reviewing indie makeup, and she definitely has beautiful taste. So I'm definitely not surprised to see her create something so beautiful. But let me go ahead and do this. Let me go ahead and do the other eye off of camera, and we're going to come back to do the under eye together. And then I'll give you guys my first impressions of this palette before we move on to palette number 2. Okay, so to finish off underneath the eyes, I wonder what color I should do. I pretty much used all the mattes except for the orange. I just don't know if orange is going to go good with this. Maybe, okay, I think I'm going to take a little bit of this dark green right here. And we're going to go on the outer edge, because I don't really know. I just don't think the orange would go good with it. So I'm just going to take this. I'm just going to slightly place this right here. Very, very lightly. Blend that out with the light green one more time. And I'll go back into that purple shade one more time. Put that right here. And then like in the center, I'll go back into that first shade right here. I'm just kind of put that right in the center. Yeah, kind of like that. Okay, so for the inner corner, we're going to go in this beautiful blue shade right here. I feel like it'd be so pretty to put that in the inner corner. I don't know what I'm going to do for the brow bone, though. I don't know if I have a brow bone shade necessarily, but I'm going to go with this blue because I feel like blue would be really pretty and kind of accentuate the spring vibe that we have going on with this palette. So I'm just going to kind of tap this in right here. All right, guys, there you have it. This is going to be the final look using the Odin's Eye collaboration with Heather Austin. Let me go ahead and zoom you guys out and give you guys my first impressions of this palette. All right, guys, so here is the final look right here. I feel like I definitely am emulating spring. At least I think I am. I think it's a really beautiful look. I will say I absolutely love the quality of this palette. The mattes blend like a dream. They have such pigmentation. There's not that much fallout with them, which I really do appreciate. And then those shimmers and those multi-chromes are absolutely stunning. You do not need any sort of glitter glue when laying them down. They blend out absolutely beautifully. The outside package of this is gorgeous. Like, oh my God, look at how beautiful my friend is. She is absolutely stunning. On the inside, you are gonna get 15 different eyeshadows in here. You're gonna get a mix of 5 mattes, 10 shimmers, and multichromes kind of mingled in between. This is a really beautiful palette. You guys can definitely buy things individually. So huge congratulations to my beautiful friend Heather Austin. Like I said, this will be available this Sunday, March 1st. Like I said, I don't think affiliate codes are available for this, but you guys can probably use Heather Austin's. I think is the only one that might be available. I'm not entirely sure, but either way, I am so proud of my friend, and she should be so proud of this as well. This is an absolutely stunning palette. So with that said, let's go ahead on to look number 2. Okay, so now we're going on to look number 2, and today we're going to play with the brand new The Old Soul palette from Glam Nature Cosmetics. This says, The Old Soul is the first chapter in the Archetype Collection, a series of palettes created to explore the many fragments of the self. This palette embodies depth, nostalgia, quiet strength through a curated story of timeless tones, antique metallics, and complementive mattes. Designed to feel personal and collectible, each palette includes a custom minted hourglass coin, symbolizing the passage of time and the beauty of the lived experience. This piece marks the beginning of your archetype journey. So this does retail for $69. It does come with this 15 pan palette along with the coin right here. I call this a challenge coin only because, well, I'm part of the Disney Day Drinkers group. It's a group over on Disney where you can go around Disney, you can day drink. But anyway, they have this thing called the challenge coin where you can go up to anyone in the group and you can challenge them to see if they have their challenge coin on them. If they don't have their challenge coin on them, it could be any coin, by the way. This is considered a challenge coin. You put it on the table and say, do you have a challenge coin? If they say no, they technically have to buy a drink. But if they say yes, you have to buy them a drink. It's just a really cool drinking game that they've done for years. And so that's what I've always associated with. I know it's actually not that way. I know it's actually a military thing what they do with challenge coins. But either way, I have mine right here. It's actually super, super cute. So I'm actually really excited to play with this palette. I first saw this and I was like, oh, I have to get my hands on it. And then when it got delivered, I was so sick. I did not have time to play with it. So we're finally doing that today. So here you're going to have the Old Soul palette. You're going to get a mix of mattes and shimmers and beautiful, beautiful, well, cool tone neutral palette. I'm so excited. There's like pops of warm, but it's mostly going to be on the cool tone side. So we're actually going to go into this shade called Yearning. I will say I do love a really good book that has an amazing yearn to it. I'm not going to lie. So anywho, y'all, I had an experience yesterday. So my husband and I were running to get some lunch, and I happened to see this homeless man with his dog go into this pizza shop, and I heard him ask if they have any like leftover food that they're gonna get rid of, if he can have it. And the girl that opened the door, she's like, oh, I gotta talk to my manager. I looked at Corey and I said, I wouldn't even question it. Like, I would just be absolutely. I looked at Corey and I said, give me a second. He's like, what are you doing? I reached into my wallet and I grabbed my last bit of money. Like, this is literally all I had left to me, and it was a $20 bill. And I looked at him and I said, no human deserves to be hungry. Like, I don't give a fuck. No one deserves to be hungry. So this man was sitting at the table outside, just kind of like putting his head down like this with his dog. And I guess I walk really quietly because I walked up and I said, excuse me, to which he went, oh, like that. I felt so bad. And then the dog went crazy. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. He's like, oh my God, you scared me. I was like, I didn't mean to scare you. I'm so sorry. I was like, I just wanted to give you this. And he said, seriously? And I said, yes, everybody deserves to be fed. And he thanked me so much, and I walked away. And then I walked away and I got to the car, and then I cried. And Corey's like, why are you crying? I'm just like, because no one deserves to be hungry. I was just so upset. And I wanted to go buy him food, so I started to get out of the car again and just like, I'm gonna go buy you food. When I saw the girl out of the pizza shop walk out of the big box of pizza and some breadsticks, and she said, I hope you enjoy. And he said, thank you so much. That actually made me like really excited to see that like he got fed. Well, that's not my only encounter scaring someone yesterday, because then it's my upstairs neighbor's. It's my upstairs neighbor. Well, it was my upstairs neighbor's birthday yesterday, and I, you know, they had people over, and I also know that they're going to be in the process of packing up and moving, and so I went to go let my dogs out on my little back patio, because we have like a little fenced-in back patio. And it's like 11 o'clock at night, mind you, okay? I'm minding my business, and I just, you know, I'm bored. So I just kind of like look up to see if they started like packing anything, because like, I don't know, I just want to know if they start packing down their like patio. Like, what point do you start to like pack everything? Because that's what me and Corey are going to start to do soon, because we've definitely made the decision not to renew. And, well, really embarrassing moment. They had people over. And, well, I didn't realize that these people were sitting in their car, because as I'm doing this and like I'm just like looking up like, I wonder if they start packing anything. Their car lights shine right on me and I went, oop, and I like scurried on my patio and I backed up, and Corey's like, what happened? I was like, I think they just caught me spying. He goes, seriously? Because then 2 seconds later, the birthday man walked out and I was just like, happy birthday. He's like, oh, thank you. Oh, I felt so awkward. He's like, did you just get caught spying? And I said, I think I did. I think I got caught spying. I didn't mean to, but shit, I was just curious if they had started packing. And I felt so awkward that I got caught. But, you know, that's on me for being freaking nosy, but I feel like we've all done it, right? All of us have spied on our neighbors at one point or another. Like, all of us have, like, been at the window, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, I remember when I used to live at this old apartment, like this really, really old apartment. I'm talking like 10 plus years ago. I had a neighbor that lived behind me. You know, they were a lovely couple. And I remember we could always hear them in their bedroom, just like for the most part, like you can hear them having conversations. And I was like, damn, if I can hear you, I know for a freaking fact you can hear me, right? Like, I just know. So one day we watched her husband leave, and me and Corey, I forgot why we were in our bedroom, because we were just in our bedroom. We were in our bedroom for something. I don't remember what it was. I'm going to blend this out with this shade called Linger to blend it out a little bit more. But we were in our bedroom, and I remember we just started hearing like this intense moaning, and I looked at me and Corey like, oh, and I was like, well, she's having a good time with herself. And then we heard somebody else, and I was like, there's somebody else here. So I remember I put my ear against the wall, because, you know, as one does, because I'm like, your husband left. Who's over here? And then I'm no shame listening, and we come to find out that it is another girl, and we're like, it's a girl. Oh man, yep. And then we also in our one bedroom apartment that we lived in before here, we remember being in our kitchen, and we heard the people next door who was attached, like our kitchen was attached to their kitchen. We heard them arguing, and she was just going off. She was making him cry and just making him feel like a piece of shit, because apparently he wasn't doing anything to pay the bills, and she was the only sole provider, and all he does is sit on the couch all day and get high on weed. And we listened to that entire conversation, because like I didn't even put my ear against the wall. I was just standing there, and it was just blasting through our freaking wall. So yeah, there's just been definitely some instances with like you can definitely hear neighbors, and I know I'm not the only one. I know you guys have done the same thing. I feel like it's a shared human experience where we all just kind of get nosy and are just like, what are our neighbors up to? Now at my parents' house, my parents don't have a fenced in backyard. I really, really wish they would. But there's this creepy, we always call him a creepy old man, because he sits with his blinds completely open with no shirt on, and he just sits there. I never know what he's doing, but he creeps me out. He creeped me out as a child, and he creeps me out to this day whenever I go to my parents' house and I still see him sitting there. I remember one time I asked my mom, are you sure he's alive? She's like, yes, he gets up and moves, but yeah, this is all he does. He just sits there. Now, maybe there's a computer sitting in front of him and it just looks like he's staring outside. I don't know, but either way, he absolutely trips me out. He's so scary. Okay, that blended out very, very, very nicely. That is so pretty. Okay, so right next to that shade, I'm going to go into the shade right here called Fade. I feel like it'd be so pretty to mix right on top of that. So pretty. We're going to put that. Oh, yeah. And then right next to that golden shade, I'm going to go into the shade right here called Still. I feel like it'd be really pretty. Add like this little duochrome blue. It goes between blue and purple. It's really pretty, and I just really kind of want to put it together. I don't know. I'm just kind of feeling the vibe. Hopefully, the vibe is vibing. We'll see if I made the right choice. And then right next to that, I kind of want to go into Whisper. I feel like that'd be so pretty to put right next to that. Like just right here. And then as I always do, I'm going to go into the shade right here called Relic right here. And we're going to take this to put along our upper waterline, because you guys know I'm just not a big fan of doing liquid liner. And this is the best way for me to line my upper waterline to mix with my false lashes. It just makes them kind of blend together really seamlessly. And if for some reason you mess up on powdered liner, it's just really easy to fix. All right, I'm going to go do the other eye off camera, and I'll be right back. All right, so to do the under eye, we're going to go into this shade right here called Echo. And we're going to softly line that under my waterline to kind of complete the look. I'm really loving how this turned out. It's very gorgeous. It's very like kind of mix of like cool tone and warm tone together. Like such a pretty combination. So I'm going to take that shade and I'm just going to lightly run it right under here, doing more of like a smoky look for sure. I'm going to lightly, very lightly blend that out with this shade right here called Revere. This beautiful gray shade. We're going to slightly blend that out with that. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do brow bone highlight. I think I'm just going to take this shade right here called Candlelight, and we're going to do that in the inner corner, and I think that's going to be pretty much it for this look. Alright guys, so this is the final look right here. Let me go ahead and zoom you guys out, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on this collection. Alrighty guys, so this is the final look right here. I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. Like I literally am obsessed with how this look came out. I think it's very sexy. I think it's very sensual. I think it definitely does encapsulate the essence of this palette right here. So this palette is currently available right now. It does retail for $69. You're going to get a mix of 15 different shades of matte shimmers and a little bit of duochromes in here. The formula is incredible. If you guys have ever played with any Glam Nature cosmetics formula, you know that it is incredible. The mattes are always so pigmented. They blend effortlessly, and then those shimmers are just chef's kiss. So buttery, so creamy, and so long lasting on me. And I absolutely love each and every single one of Glaminatrix palettes. There's a reason why they've always been ranked pretty high in my palette ranking, because their quality is just that good. So like I said, this is available right now. You guys can use code Allie, save you guys 10% off if you guys do want to pick it up. But with that said, besties, let me go ahead and move on to the third and final look. Okay, so for our last and final palette, we're going to go into the new Cosmic Brushes. This is going to be the Angelic palette. This says, inspired by the soft glow of the sun reflecting on fluffy clouds, perfect for creating the most ethereal angelic look, this palette contains 12 different beautiful pastel and ethereal shades. Now this palette actually does retail for $28. It is currently available as of right now. I have no affiliation with this brand whatsoever, so I'm really excited because when I first saw this, I knew how to get my hands on this. First off, I also just really love Cosmic Brushes as a whole, so I knew I wanted to get my hands on this, and I just think this is going to be one of those beautiful soft pastel palettes. I think it's just one of those palettes that you really don't need to put too much effort into it for it to create a really soft, ethereal, beautiful look. So I'm gonna go ahead and prep my eyes. I literally just got off of work, so I just washed my face just to put makeup back on. Normally, like there was days where I used to just come on with like my makeup that I had on all day, but today just, I don't know, I was looking at my makeup and I was like, oh, she's a little crusty, so let me just not do that. So instead, we just had to wash our face, and we're gonna go ahead and put on some new makeup, and we're gonna play with this palette. So I just want to do something very soft, very ethereal, because I feel like that's what this palette kind of calls for. So I think for today's look, well, pastel doesn't really like to stay for me. I'll try this. I'm gonna try this. We'll see how this turns out. I really want to do something very soft and ethereal. One that doesn't require you to put like false lashes on. Like I know you don't have to put false lashes on when it comes to eyeshadow, but I just kind of prefer, because I feel like it looks, I don't know, more put together, but that's just my opinion. But sometimes when you have really soft eyeshadow like this, you really don't really need false lashes. So I just kind of want to wear it by itself and see how this looks. So I'm just going to take that shade. This is the shade called Graceful. And we're going to tap that. Oh, that's not going to show up. Okay, we're going to switch. We're going to pivot. We're going to go into Shubarb right here, or something like that. I think that's what it's called. Shubarb? I don't know. We're going to tap that right here. Okay, that's going to work definitely a lot better. We're going to tap it. And then I want to softly blend that out with that first shade. So I feel like that'd be really pretty to just softly diffuse the edges with that. Yeah, that's going to be better. More like it for sure. And then on the inner corner, I'm going to go for Elegant, this beautiful like teal shade right here. And then I'll softly blend it out with Blessed right there. Take that, we're gonna put that right here. If you really want a color like this to stick, you can definitely use a colorful eye base. Like I know that P. Louise makes really good eye bases. I know Glam did some colorful eye bases. Beauty Creation did beautiful eye bases as well. Sometimes having a pigmented eye base underneath can really help to bring out the color, just so you guys know. So I could do that. I just kind of want a more soft, ethereal look. So that's the reason why I did not do that today. Okay, and then right next to that shade, I'm gonna go into Angelic right here. Really pretty. I'm going to put that right here. And then right next to that purple, we're going to go into this beautiful shade right here. These shadows, I don't know. I thought their shimmers had a little bit more creaminess to them. These ones are not nearly as creamy. And then right in the center, we're going to go into Illuminate right here, right in the center. I'm kind of have to like really dig my finger into here to get any sort of pigment. I don't really like that. I wonder if these are more like topper shades. It's not bad. Just very soft. How's what I was going for, but that pink shade really is not wanting to stay in the lid just because, like I said, it is really pastel-y. So I'm going to do the other eye off camera. We're going to come back to do the under eyes together. But like I said, I just want to show you something very soft and effortless that doesn't require too much work into it. Okay, so now the eyes are pretty much done. So is the rest of the makeup. We're going to go back into this palette, and this time I'm going to take this shade right here called Transcend. And I'm going to put that in the inner corner, followed by this shade right here called Divine in the outer. And we're going to kind of blend them together. So I'm going to go in with this shade, like I said, the purple on the out. We're going to place this right here, very soft. Very, very, very soft. Then I'm going to go in with a little brush because I'm going to take this shade right here called Ethereal. This is definitely like an eye topper. And we're going to take this and we're going to put this right actually in the center of my lid. Kind of bridge them together. I'm going to kind of go like this. I'll put that in the inner corner because I think it's so pretty. Beautiful blue, green, almost purple moment. So gorgeous. Guys, and there you have it. This is going to be the final look. Do you see how quick and easy it is? It's so effortless to create something just soft, ethereal. Doesn't require too much like skills thrown in it, but you can still create something really beautiful, very colorful, and very easy on the go. So let me go ahead and zoom you guys out and give you guys my thoughts on this palette. Alrighty guys, so there we have it. This is the final look using the Angelic palette from Cosmic Brushes. I have to say this is a really beautiful palette. You're gonna get 12 shades for $28, which is a really decent price point. 8 mattes and then 4 shimmers. And I have to say that the shimmers, they're not as the typical creamy buttery shimmers that I'm used to, but they still work really effortlessly. They blend out really nicely and they have a really nice pigmentation to them. The pastels, definitely a little bit more on the lighter side, but that's also to be expected because they are pastel shades, but they do lay down really nicely. I don't really have to work too hard to get them to work, but you also have to understand that they are pastels, so they do tend to blend out really easily. I do recommend putting on a color base underneath it if you want more pigmentation, but they are very beautiful nonetheless, and like those shimmers are absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, not my most favorite formula, but they do work really nicely, and if you wanted more pigmentation, you could definitely spray it with like a setting spray or use some glitter glue, but I'm actually really happy with what I have. So this is available right now. I'm really, really glad I got my hands on it because I really do enjoy this brand. And yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys liked all 3 different looks. A huge congratulations again to my wonderful friend Heather Austin for her newest collaboration. I'll make sure I have everything linked down in my description. But with that said, besties, that is gonna be it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already. So I do post 3 to 4 videos every single week. You guys head over to my other channel, it's R for Life. You guys get to see my cool, wonderful adventures, my amazing husband Corey, and as always, the biggest thank you goes these beautiful, wonderful page numbers you guys see right here. Thank you guys so much for everything. And to my subscribers and viewers, thank you guys so much for being here. Whether you guys like this video, you guys thumbs down this video, you guys subscribed, you guys did not subscribe. Either way, thank you guys so much for being here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you. So with that said, guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys in our very next video. Bye.